Bob, hey, thanks for joining us. First of all, thanks for fitting it into your schedule. I know you're busy out there.
Between playing the guitar and trying to get on the treadmill, which I've been trying to get every other 2 days or whatever, but it's been, you know, one thing good about it, I get to go to the track every morning and train the horses, so that it keeps my sanity.
How difficult is it right now to do the job that you do, given everything that's going on out there and around the country?
I think the hardest part, Randy, is probably have more contact with my clients than I ever have, letting them know what's going on with their horses, where we might be running. Everything is day by day, hour by hour. I mean, California, we were doing really well until the shutdown. That really hurt. And so we're just hoping maybe if this LA County can lift it maybe in a few weeks. I'm not sure, because we've been very fortunate at Santa Anita. Nobody's gotten sick. Everybody, it's really locked down. There's nobody out there. It's minimal people. Owners can't see the horse. I mean, it's killing Jill, my wife, because she can't go out there and give them carrots or see the horses, or, you know, so it's tough on a lot of us, but it's one of those things where, you know, we all want to do what's right. We want to get by these tough times, but some of the horses, what I've done is I just mapped out different races, you know, have to back off on some.
So you mentioned the owners. You talk to them more now. You're blessed. I mean, you have some of the best owners in the business, but in general, how do owners cope with paying all these bills and not being able to run their horses and get purse money?
Well, I mean, we haven't even gotten to that yet, because right now it's mainly, you know, they've got their own problems, you know, but just keeping in touch with everything. I mean, it's the same old story. You talk to somebody. I made a joke to one of them the other day. I'm checking in with every owner I have that's over 70 years old to make sure they're doing fine, you know. But it's one of those things, you know, you have to keep the humor in there and let them know how the horses are doing. We haven't just, I mean, we're still going full time with these horses. We backed up a little bit off of some of them. Some of them are slow coming around. Like some that I had that wouldn't have made the Derby can make the Derby. They have a chance of making the Derby now. So, you know, being it moved now to September, but right now this, you know, Oak Lawn Park, you know, we're taking a few there, just picking our spots. And hopefully in a few weeks, maybe we can see a little light at the tunnel.
What kind of precautions are you taking around the barn?
Everybody wears masks. They wear gloves, but most of my workers, they wear a mask every day anyway because of the dust. And so that's something that we had a lot of masks. That's one thing I wasn't short of masks, because we always keep a lot of masks. So we had those, and there's, you know what, they're worried too. They, you know, I keep telling them all, if somebody feels like they're sick, and you know, we're taking temperatures. If you feel sick, do not come to work. Stay in your room. We'll take care of you. So far, nobody has gotten sick, and so I think everybody in the backside. I think Santa Anita, we jumped on this like a month ago, right before the crackdown. We started getting really tight with everything. That's why it was really surprising, Randy, that the LA County shut us down, because we were really good about staying away from each other and you know, washing hands. They put these dispensers in all over the place, like these Purell dispensers. I mean, everywhere you go, there's one right there. So, you know, I have to give them credit. In Los Alamitos, they're really cracked down. Everybody has to wear a mask, you know, and take temperatures. So it's something that, you know, the only people that are allowed on the backside are the people that have to work with these horses on a daily basis. So that means no owners, no nothing, nobody, no aunt, uncle. If you're coming in town, if you came in town and want to see my horses, they wouldn't let you in. It's that tough.
Well, I mean, one of the arguments for racing continuing during this virus is the fact that regardless, the horses have to be cared for anyway. The horses still have to have a you know, full contingent of grooms, and they have to be fed, and they have to have veterinary care, and they have to exercise, and all that has to go on anyway. I think a lot of people that don't know that much about horse racing don't really think about that.
Well, I mean, they're top class athletes. That'd be like, you know, telling the football players during their playoffs, you know what, you guys need to just lay in your couches for a couple of weeks and then we'll get you going. They're athletes like anybody else. They have to be fed well. They have to, you know, we can't cut back, you know, on anything. So we keep exercising them. The tracks have been great. Their training's open. We get to breeze them, work them, keep them fit, keep them at that level. And so basically these horses are, if they were to say, you know, we're going to race, there's a race maybe in 3 weeks, they'll be ready to run. So we'll be ready to go. Otherwise we wouldn't be ready till probably August, you know, July.
So Bob, I see you have 1,000 Words heading for Oakland for a race Saturday. You plan to run in the Arkansas Derby as well. Do you have any sense of what the new point races will be as we go through the summer and head for the Derby in September?
You know what? Nobody knows yet, Jerry. I haven't, nobody's, you know, I know what I read. I haven't heard any rumblings of anything. I think what they wanted, before they can even say anything, we need a date that we can actually open back up to business, whether it's spectatorless, whatever it is. And I think until that window, I really think in about 2 weeks, I think all of this should be dying down. I think we'll probably get more, you know, more information. I'm telling you what, I watch those Trump things every afternoon and to see what's going on. And you can see that he wants to get, you know, the America back on working. We have to, you know, we have to open some of these economies. That's why I really thought that horse racing was just a perfect model for that.
We're all big fans of Dr. Fauci right now. Love me some Dr. Fauci. I can't get enough of him. All right, you mentioned 1,000 Words going in the Oakland Stakes this weekend. Let's kind of go through your some of your 3-year-olds, some of your top horses, horse by horse, and kind of get the scouting report on how they're doing and what you've got in mind for them. Let's start with Charlatan. What about him?
With Charlatan, he just worked the other day. He worked really nice. We've been pointing him. We're pointing him for the Arkansas Derby, hopefully. And by that time, I think we might find out at Santa Anita if what's going to go on here. You know, there's talk about maybe Los Alamitos. We don't know yet, but you know, I really wouldn't like to run those two together, him and Nadal together. But if we can separate them, be better. You know, we're hoping for a split, maybe. We don't know, but that's just, you know, that's just talk. But right now, he's doing really well. So I think he's the only one that doesn't have any points, and so it'd be nice to have him in a race where you can get some points.
What about his distance capabilities?
Well, I mean, he's you know, he's by Speightstown, which is sprinting, and he's out of a great mare that's all 2 turns. So you know, I think when they're as fast as he is, those good ones keep going. I think his race going a mile last time proved that. He's just so good that he could he's just fast, you know, and he can keep going. And he handled that really well, and he actually came out of it really well. I think he really needed that second race. I think it would have been tough for him to go into a 2-turn stake race, you know, second out. But now I think he's ready for something like that. So, you know, it's one of those things where Justified, when I first saw him, I was questioning how far he could run, but he was just so good and so such a great athlete, just that he could handle anything.
Would you compare the two?
I think he's just a smaller version of him, you know, but the superstardom is there on him. But I really think my 3 horses that I have, they're authentic, and they're all superstar material.
Yeah. So what's a bigger challenge for you? Adjusting personal life or adjusting your business life at the barn and the horses and all those moving parts?
Well, my personal life it's been okay because I get to go to work, but it's, you know, we have Bodie. He's a freshman in high school now, so he's working online, and so he's bouncing off the walls. Luckily, I have a backyard with a little basketball court, so he gets to go out there and get his wiggles out. My wife's Jill. She has turned into an unbelievable chef. I'm telling you, she's been cooking.
Awesome.
And so it's tough. You know, we try to stay busy. We're, you know, teaching Bodie. She was teaching Bodie how to play cards and games and stuff. So it's one of those things where, you know, we're spending a lot of time together. So it's been pretty quiet and cool.
Well, if you got a personal chef, you better get that treadmill going.
Well, that's a big deal, because she has been, you know, and we have a lot of some clients there that, you know, send her recipes and stuff. So that's pretty good.
Well, good to hear that everything's holding up well in the Baffert household, the Baffert barn. I know racing fans are anxious to see some of those horses get back into action. What about McKenzie?
McKenzie, he came back from Saudi Arabia. He lost a lot of weight. I weighed him, and he's put on 60 pounds since he got back. He got really light going over there, and I just been tack walking him, and he'll be ready. I'll probably put him back, you know, I was going to get him ready for the Churchill meet, but now that thing's been postponed a little bit, I'm putting the weight back on him. He looks beautiful right now. He'll start back training. It rained this week, so he'll start training at the end of the week.
And Mucho Gusto, did you bring him back, or is he still over there?
Mucho Gusto came back. He actually gained like 20 pounds from the time he left. I mean, he looked fantastic. He looks healthy. He was really sitting on a big race for Dubai. It's too bad it happened, but it's one of those things where they had to cancel it. I mean, there was no way they could run that with what was going on. So I can't really work, you know. But he was really going to be great for that race.
And one more horse question. We didn't get into Authentic too much, since he's already got the points, really, for the Kentucky Derby. I mean, what's the battle plan for him going forward?
Yeah, I talked to Tom Ryan, Jack Wolf, and we decided that being that he already has points, we have Charlatan. You know, we thought that it would be a good idea. You know, he was getting ready to run in the Santa Anita Derby. He was all set for that, and so he's actually a Maypole, and he's a light horse. He's immature, but he's a really good horse, and he's a kind of horse that I'm going to just back off and just maybe tack walk him for a couple weeks, and point for something like the Affirm Stakes in June. Something like, I'm going to sort of put him in the same routine that I did with Arrogate, you know, to get him ready for the Travers. And so because he's a horse that he's a light-bodied horse, Randy, and I could get him ready like in 3 works. He could be ready to roll, because he's that type of, he has that physical where a heavier horse, it's hard. You can't back off too much on him.
You needed the Derby to be run in September when Arrogate was a 3-year-old, didn't you?
I think he would have been pretty tough.
Yeah.
So you know, not that any of this was planned, obviously, but do you think because of our situation now, Bob, that it might work to your advantage with a horse like Authentic, who's a Maypole, or Charlatan, who needed to develop and maybe needed some more time?
No, they would have been really ready. They were on a perfect schedule.
Okay.
You know, they were on a perfect schedule. Now, you know, we have to keep them healthy. You know, we have to, you know, just be, you know, it's a long ways off. You know, a lot can happen, you know, in 5 months. So, but right now we'll just keep them healthy and, you know, not run them too much. I'd like to get some races into, like Charlatan. It's more important for him. Nadal, he ran so hard. I think he will get better. That last race really moved him forward, and he's a horse he's a big, strong horse by Blame. So we're not worried about how far he can go, especially the way he ran last time. And Charlatan's the one that, you know, he's the one that needs some racing.
Well, stay safe out there. Shelter in place.
Thanks for your time.
Well, keep in touch, and we're luckily all my family, nobody's, you know, been stricken with this horrible virus, but we just keep praying.
Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, that was great for Bob Baffert to join us. Look it, buddy. I've got bright sunshine here. I know you're in Minneapolis, so I think the weather's starting to turn. Are you outside much?
Don't give me all the palm tree stuff and sitting in your beautiful place. Here you go. How about this? Look where I am.
I love it. So, are you getting cabin fever yet?
I've been all right. I have. I've been all right. You know, I mean, my kids have noticed a huge difference in me and the fact that I'm actually tweeting. So that's a huge deviation from normal for me. But other than, I mean, I spend a lot of time in my office. I try to stand up and work, and elevate my computer so I'm not sitting down all the time. I ordered a weight bench so I could work out at home. Ordered some dumbbells, although I'm still waiting. I think I'm a dumbbell to think I could order dumbbells and they would get here before Christmas. You
need a forklift just to deliver them.
I know, exactly. Taking walks, got the bicycles down, you know, a lot of to-go restaurants. Probably the same as you. How are you doing?
I'm good. The walks are a challenge here because, I mean, you've been to my house, you know where we live, and there's a lot of action between downtown and the beach. So the roads have been getting really crowded. So Susie and I will either walk about 8:30 or 9 at night. Or I've been swimming a lot, actually. So yeah, I'm up to like 35 minutes a day swimming, but I'm still having golf withdrawals. I mean, you know, it's been like over 3 weeks since I played a round of golf, and you know how much I love golf. So I finally this morning, I said, geez, I got to get out. And I went into my front yard and I took a wedge and some balls and I put a bucket out there and I started chipping, trying to hit the, you know, maybe 30 feet into this bucket. Now, I was going to bring a cup, a Dixie cup, which is the size of a golf hole. I said, there's no way I can hit that. So I brought a much larger container, a red bucket. And I've just been out there. I mean, I hit probably 40 balls. I got one in. That's it. So instead of 18 holes, I'm hitting 18 shots at one hole. That's as close as I can get right now.
There you go. Well, if I tried to swim, I would need a wetsuit up here right now. Although it is pretty nice. It's like 70 degrees in Minneapolis. So we all shelter in place as best we can, right, my friend?
Yeah. You know, you asked me a question the other day, and you said, what would be the most difficult thing if you were still writing and being quarantined? And I completely forgot. Eating. I mean, to be quarantined and not be able to eat much and not be able to exercise a whole lot, that would have probably been the toughest thing, because we're eating pretty good right now.
Sounds like Baffert is too, with Jill as his personal chef. Yeah, right. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm amazed that we had some salmon with a dill sauce. Susie made that up. I grilled steaks a couple times. It's amazing trying to change things up, what you can come up with. So yeah, we've been eating pretty good. Justin made Chinese food for us the other night, so it's been kind of an experience.
Sounds like it would be difficult for you to make the weight right now then, right?
Oh, that would have been the hardest thing without a doubt. Now, speaking of jockeys, I did follow up with Javier Castellano, we had on our show last week. He told me he was still feeling very well. His mom is still feeling very well, which, you know, you and I had worried about because she's in her 60s living in the same house. And I believe he said today was his last day of official quarantine, but he had to go get retested. And I believe he said he was going to do that today. So we'll find out what's up with him in the next few days. So at least so far, Javier Castellano is still feeling great.
All right. We'll be back next week with the new guest. Everybody stay safe. Shelter in place. Don't take any unnecessary chances. And we'll see you next week.
All right, guys. In America land out there, be safe.